TFA fam, welcome in. It is the week 3 game day show starter set. We are here to help you all as we get close to lock. Just want to tell everyone right off the bat, I am not being held hostage. There's no need to alert the authorities. I am fine. All is well. Kicking it here in North Carolina. Did not want to miss this week. We have a couple of questions already off the bat, Kev. So let's dive in and we can start talking about some of the inactives and over-unders and all that stuff. So right off the cuff from Alejandro, Evans or Cup?
Definitely Cup.
Yeah, this is easily Cup for me as well. I love Cup this week. Walito, what up? Kyle K rocking with us. Clyde, Tyson, Sutton, Devonta, PPR flex. One flex and one running back.
The running backs are close because I have CEH and Tyson on one spot from each other, but I'm going to go with Clyde Edwards-Helaire. The Chargers defense has been really, really bad against the run. They ranked in the bottom. I think they're like 28th, 29th in adjusted line yards for their defense. And so I think this is a game. The only concerning thing with CEH is the target share. Is he going to get more targets? But it's also a really good matchup for Tyson as well. But I just like this matchup. I think this is a bounce back spot for CEH.
I agree. Who are you putting in the flex? Are you going to plug Tyson in the flex, or do you like one of those receivers?
I'm going to go with Cortland Sutton. It's hard to deny the target share that he saw. This is a great matchup against the Jets. I can't sit Cortland Sutton. I think he's borderline top 15 wide receiver this week.
I'm going to agree with you there. Raylan rocking with us. Good to see Raylan here. Let's get that random question of the week fired up. Joseph rocking with us. Happy Football Sunday to all of you. Appreciate all you rocking with us. If you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. Just cross that 2K plateau, and now it is on to 3K here around these TFA parts. Yvette needs a flex. Needs 2.5 PPR. Pollard, Smith, or I'm assuming, is that Devonta or Jamal?
Assuming it's Devonta. I'm going with Smith and Devonta Williams.
What if that is Jamal?
I'd probably go Jamal.
Over Pollard?
Yeah, it'd be really close, though, if it was. But if it's Devonta, it's Devonta, not even close. But
yeah.
Yeah. I'm assuming it's Devonta, right?
I would think.
So, yeah, it's those two for sure.
I hope. Aiden back rocking with us. Cooper or Godwin?
This is Godwin. With Antonio Brown out, it kind of narrows down the target share a little. I would expect somebody like Scotty Miller to be more involved in the offense. He's played like 20 snaps through the first 2 weeks, but has not seen a single target. But I think you probably end up seeing Jalen Ramsey. He could possibly shadow in this game. We haven't really seen him do it, but this could be a game they decide to do that. It would be smart on their part to do that, and then maybe bracket Chris Godwin, but we'll see. But I think Chris Godwin would be the play for me.
Yeah, me as well. With those rib injuries, man, if Cooper gets hit the wrong way, falls the wrong way, he could be out. So I think Godwin is just safer across the entire board. Our guy Max coming in with the non-PPR question. Start 2. Cook, Madison, Clyde, Devonta. Sounds like Cook is going to be out.
Yeah.
So Madison, Clyde, or Devonta Williams here for you.
So it's CEH, and then it becomes really close. And I know people are going to look at Madison and be like, he's a must start, and I don't think that he is.
I agree.
So what we've seen a lot of times in the past, whenever Dalvin Cook misses, we got quite a bit of sample size on this. They end up really spreading the ball around. It's not just one guy who gets that Dalvin Cook role, right? And so I don't mind Alexander Madison. I have him ranked 20th. And that seems even a little higher than I love, because if they fall behind, they're going to abandon the run. They're going to have to throw, right? And so I just don't think Alexander Madison is all that safe of a play. And I think we're going to end up tilting our faces off, seeing Amir Abdullah get opportunities. With that being said, I would probably CEH for sure. I would probably go Madison in this one just because of Javonte actually have a 21, so I have him really close. But I would probably lean Madison just a little bit in this one. But, I love Javonte today against this Jets defense.
Yeah, I'm going to go Clyde and Javonte on this one for a lot of the reasons you just outlined with Madison. We've had the sample size with him that he's not what we thought he was going to be. So I'm going to go Clyde and Devonta on that one. Another quick question here: Pollard or Patterson in your RB2? I can't mess with Patterson. This is Pollard.
I'm not sure.
Here.
Well, I guess because maybe he was going to play Dalvin Cook, but yeah, it would be Pollard.
Our ma'am, Tam, Woods or Mike Williams for the wide receiver 2?
I'm going Robert Woods.
Man, so hard to sit Mike Williams right now.
So I know I think he's going to see a lot of L'Jarius Sneed, who is the Chiefs' best corner. He last year was absolutely elite, and this year he's played really well as well. And I think that is who he's going to see a lot of today. They will move him probably over to the other side here and there when he'll end up seeing Charvarius Ward, but I don't like that matchup for him going up against L'Jarius Sneed. And so I just prefer Robert Woods. I think this is a big Robert Woods bounce back week. I'm playing a lot of him in DFS as well. And so I just like Robert Woods a lot. I think he bounces back this week.
My question is, Tam, why not both? Who else are you starting? I do think the Woods, I guess, dismissal has gone too far. He bounced back last week. We saw his targets go back up. This is going to be a game where they're going to abandon the run. We're going to see a lot of passing on both sides, I believe. Let us know if there's any way we can get both of these guys into your lineup. I lean Mike Williams because of the target share. Woods can definitely get there, but we've seen it 2 weeks in a row now with Mike Williams. Let us know if you can start both. Raylan wants to know, should I trade Evans for A.J. Brown? And Raylan would be getting AJB.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, there we go. Noel, Jacoby or Melvin in a full PPR?
I'm going to go with Jacoby Myers.
That's where I was leaning as well, on the same page. Another question here from Alejandro. Henderson, Carson, Pollard, McKissick, Beasley, Tim Patrick. 2 running backs and a flex.
All right,
Sounds like
we're
Henderson
locking in. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say we're locking in Chris Carson. He's a definite. And then
Yep.
I don't know if Darrell Henderson's going to play yet or not.
It sounds like he is on the wrong side of doubtful.
That's what it sounds like. Sounds like rib injury. I don't think they, with Sony Michel, I think they could run him out there. And so I would guess that he's going to be out. And so I would go then with Tony Pollard.
Yeah, I agree. I don't. Probably the better matchup for McKissick, but we just can't trust the usage there yet. Alejandro also needs a flex out of this group.
I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go Cole Beasley here.
Let's go. We are in lockstep on that one as well. Igor, 1 at the flex. Galladay Gaskin, Chark, Chenault, Ayuk.
So this is tough because Galladay also is questionable, I believe, with a hip injury. He may play, but I cannot trust Kenny Galladay. It's a great matchup against Atlanta, but I would hate he goes out there on the first drive and then you don't see him the rest of the game. He also sounds very questionable. Hopefully, I'm sure we'll get the news exactly on him before we go live or before this ends. But so with that being said, this is, and it would usually you'd be like, okay, it's Slam and Brandon Ayuk. I think I'm still going to go Brandon Ayuk though. I know it's very thin of a play, but you cannot leave him he is what like they've. I think his time is coming. And this should be a up-tempo game against Green Bay. They're going to have to open it up. That is something we really haven't seen them have to do. Last week's game against Philly, it was very low scoring, slow-paced game. The week before, they were able to just kind of have their way with the 49er or with the Lions, so they didn't really have to throw the ball a whole ton either. I think in this game is going to be completely different. Their running backs are completely banged up. We're talking about now I guess Trey Sermon could end up being the guy. Or, we're looking at Kerryon Johnson, possibly being involved in this backfield as well because of all the injuries they have. I think they're going to have to throw the ball for the first time a lot. And I think that means Brandon Ayuk gets involved. And so I'm going Brandon Ayuk. If you don't have that sort of, what's the word I'm looking for?
Conviction.
If you don't have the risk tolerance
Conviction.
that I do, then I think then you probably could go Chenault. Or Chark, but I would probably lean Chenault if you're wanting to go with a little bit of safety. But I think Brandon Ayuk has the highest upside of all of these guys.
Yeah, the upside lies with Ayuk for sure. This year has been so weird to start with for San Fran. I mean, Kittle is tied 25th routes run among tight ends. Like CJ Uzomah has run more routes than he has. I would just go Chenault here. I think he's seen at least 7 targets back-to-back games. Talk about a team that's going to have to open it up with Arizona coming into town. We know what they're going to do. They're going to put up points. So I lean Chenault on this one. But if you want to swing for upside, I do like the Ayuk call as well. Mason rocking with us. Drake or Edmonds?
Chase Edmonds. It's not even close.
Yep. I really like Edmonds this week. If you're looking for a player prop to throw out there, Chase Edmonds rushing yards are like 45.5, 46.5. I really like that. Emmanuel rocking with us. Hey, it is our favorite subscriber from the motherland. Need one flex. Harris, Madison, Tyson Williams. I'm going to go Tyson Williams here.
I agree. Yeah, Tyson.
Do we like Evans this week at all? Alejandro had the question earlier with Mike Evans. Our thoughts on him?
It's in comparison to who you have. I mean, I think if you don't have like substantially better options, then I think you roll with Mike Evans because Mike Evans can haul in a long touchdown at any time. We know he's going to be involved in around the goal line as well with red zone opportunities. So I mean, I think you can play him, but I would just not have the high expectation that you normally would have with him, right? Like last week was an obvious bounce back spot for him. Going against Atlanta, great matchup. This week, not so much. So, I think you can play him, but I just wouldn't have the same confidence that you normally would with him.
Correct. It was Javonte, so yes, get Javonte in there, Yvette. Andrew, Carr or Danny Dimes?
Daniel motherfucking Dimes. And it makes me feel so good, too, because Walito, I know he's in here. It was only a couple weeks ago. Oh, Walito was trying to give you a hard time about calling Daniel Jones a sleeper. Well, look who won on that one. You son of a B. So Daniel Jones rocking and rolling through 2 games of the season and for another great matchup again today. So give me Daniel Jones. And I'm sure he'll go out and get 8 fantasy points today because that's what Daniel Jones does. But correct. Daniel Jones being involved in the run game, almost or over 100 yards rushing already through 2 games. And really last week's game could have been much better had he found the end zone on that long run that got called back. So give me Daniel Jones.
Feels gross. I don't like it, but Danny Dimes for me as well. Gator fan, new to the Discord channel as well. If you want to join the Discord, the description is in the link below. If you're rocking with us and have not yet subscribed, please hit that subscribe button and shoot us a like as well. We appreciate all of you fine people. Are we okay with starting Claypool and Rondell Moore in the flex?
I mean, it depends on who the other options are, but absolutely. I love both of them. Chase, without Deontay Johnson, that really is going to hone things in for Claypool and Juju, though I do think, like I talked about the other day, I think it was Wednesday, that I think James Washington is also a low-key, really good play today. He always seems to get involved, whenever one of these guys go down. And so I like James Washington as well. But in terms of Claypool and Rondell Moore, absolutely. And we talked about DeAndre Hopkins. He has a rib, I believe it's a rib injury as well. It sounds like he's going to play, but it's not a really confidence thing. And I don't think he sees a ton of targets. He could be more of a decoy today, going against Jacksonville. There's no real reason to run him out there and get him hurt or, make the injury any worse. We'll see if he actually plays. I know that was sounding like he was going to play, but I think it's a big game for Rondell Moore today. Rondell Moore has shot up my rankings. He's almost a wide receiver 2 for me. Love Rondell Moore.
File that under things you love to see. Gator, let us know if you have any other options there. I'm not in love with Claypool, and I heard Maddie talk about this on the DFS show. I think Maddie really likes Claypool this week as well, right? It just worries me with Ben being banged up and that like Claypool's getting the targets. It just hasn't connected, and I don't know. I do think Chidobe Awuzie matches up well with the kind of receiver Claypool is. Shooting for upside is fine. Let us know if you have any other options. You might not, but Rondell Moore, 100%. Raylan wants to know, should I target CEH or Saquon? My vote is Saquon here. Clyde is starting to worry me a little bit after. I'm not bailing because it hasn't been great game script. They've played, 2 good run defenses the first 2 weeks. So I'm not abandoning ship, but I think Saquon would be the guy to target here because he was drafted higher. He has not played well. The last week shot up to 80-something% with his target share. So I think Saquon will be the one to do it. But if you're going to do it, you have about an hour and a half because I think this is the game we start to see Saquon be Saquon. So try and get that in now because that price is probably going to go up, even if he only has a mediocre game this week.
Yeah, I think that would be the hope of that he doesn't really explode like the way that we think that he should, which is possible with game script and everything else to see how this works out. But with Clyde, it's just like we've talked about this week. Like he's seeing the opportunities. He's getting almost 86% of the opportunity shares. He's just not seeing any action in the passing game at all. And he's really not even running that many routes. I mean, he's 32nd in routes run. He's just not being targeted at all, and he only has 3 targets on over the first 2 games of the season. And so that's the hard part with Clyde Edwards-Helaire is he's just not being utilized in the passing game, and he's also not getting the goal line carries. I do think that he bounces back a little bit, and I think, like I said, I think this is a better matchup. But going forward, there is that concern there, and I'm starting to think that if he doesn't turn it around, he's probably done after this year. Like I think they go out and they find somebody else, and because they can't keep doing this with him. Last year, I think he was okay, but so far through this season, now I am also wondering if that ankle injury he suffered, in the preseason that we don't really talk about, is that affecting him at all? I don't know, and maybe that's what's going on. But as of right now, like if this doesn't turn around, I could see this turn into a 3-man committee where all of a sudden. Jerick McKinnon, who got a little bit more involved last week, gets even more involved and, make Clyde Edwards-Helaire just kind of a one-dimensional fantasy asset. So I don't mind targeting Clyde Edwards-Helaire, buying low. He's kind of the perfect buy low candidate. But I think Saquon is a much better. But I don't know how. I mean, you're going to have to make that happen quick because Saquon could explode today.
Yep. Agreed. I'm going to hold on to that ankle injury. Like I'm going to hope that like a week or 2 from now, Schefter comes out with something where it's like, Clyde has been battling an ankle, and like I need an excuse to hold on to point to and be like, see, there's still hope. Anyway, moving on to Joseph's question here. Would you start any of these over Pittman? Man, Joseph has been hit by that injury bug pretty hard this week. Davis, Higbee, Gainwell, Mooney. Any of those over Pittman? Carson Wentz is starting. I got the notification from Sleeper. Carson Wentz ankles. It's starting. Just so funny to see the double ankle in there. Are you starting any of these guys over Pittman?
I am not. I would start Michael Pittman. It was nice to see Michael Pittman bounce back week last week. Really had a big game. It is good also to see that. Carson Wentz is starting. That's what I was looking for because Eason looks to be absolutely terrible. I do want to mention for people who maybe have some different options or they're kind of struggling at who they should play. Like I think some deeper level plays who I think that especially ahead of this week, like ahead of waivers, that I wouldn't mind adding. I definitely think Quintez Cephas should be on more people's radar. I think this is another big spot for him this week. Olamide Zaccheaus. Russell Gage is out this week. And so that makes Zaccheaus the number 2 wide receiver in this offense is going to see slot opportunities. This is not a bad matchup going against the Giants. The Giants secondary is very exploitable. So I like Zaccheaus as well. I think Darius Slayton with Kenny Golladay being, banged up. I don't mind him. He saw a couple red zone. He should have had another touchdown last week. It was barely, I think it bounced off his hand. And then again, I keep banging this drum, but Jarvis Landry is now out. And, he's out in IR. I think Anthony Schwartz should be on more people's radar because I think he slides into the slot where you see Odell, who's on one side, and then Donovan Peoples-Jones on the outside. And then I think that we possibly see Anthony Schwartz slide into the slot. So I kind of like him as well. Just a few guys that and Van Jefferson, that was the other guy I was going to mention that I think that if you look at his air yards, the air yards have been there. I think they can support 3 wide receivers in this offense. And so Van Jefferson is another guy in 12-team leagues and above that I think people should have on their radar.
In deep leagues too, I think Demetric Felton is interesting. I think it's thin, but he's someone again, if you're in a 14-team, 12-team, you're not picking him up. 14-team league, I think you could potentially pick him up and stash him and see how he's used this week because he does offer some of that same athletic upside, not to the same degree as Anthony Schwartz because Schwartz is literally an Olympic hopeful, I believe, at with his sprinting. Yeah, you'd have to check out the profile that Christian did in the offseason, but dude is legit Olympic level fast. But Demetric Felton is someone who they can use in that gadgety type of way as well. We got Raylan Stretson over here. Let's calm his nerves. Andrews or Tunyon.
Yeah, there's nothing to stress about. It's Mark Andrews going against Detroit. Give me Mark Andrews all day.
Did Alejandro have a question earlier? Was that one of the ones we asked for? Or is this a continuation? Alejandro, we'll come back to that one if I can find it a little bit higher in the chat. But this one right here, CD Evans or OBJ.
I think I might have said it was Henderson, Carson, Pollard, McKissick, Beasley, Tim Patrick, need 2. I think maybe this is a different team, I would assume.
Yeah, but I don't know what we need out of there. You know what I mean? I thought maybe with the listing of the names, it was.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, who do you like out of the those wide receivers?
Oh, out of the wide receivers, is CeeDee Lamb.
And then if you had to rank these ones,
I would go Madison. Let me see. Bring him up. Madison.
I think I would have it
Jamal
how.
Williams.
Yeah, I think I'd rank them how they're listed here, Alejandro. If you need,
Assuming it's PPR, yes. I think that's probably how I would rank it.
the sensei, we need one. Imagine Saquon Barkley being lumped in with the rest of these ones. I get it. The first 2 weeks have not been great, but this is
It's Saquon.
It's Barkley.
Yeah.
With Edmonds second.
But I will say, I absolutely love the running backs that you have. Like, this is a really strong group of, of depth that you have with Edmonds, and then I think Pollard. If anything happens to Zeke, he becomes a top 10 running back, and then Devonta, I think, is only a matter of time, so he takes over that backfield. So I absolutely love that. That is how you draft there.
We need 2 here from Sebastian Harris, the double Harrises, Sermon, Hunt.
So I'm lower on probably a little bit. Well, I shouldn't say lower. I'm probably on everybody else's. Naji Harris. I have some concern with him because now it's only been a 2-week sample size, but Cincinnati's run defense has actually been surprisingly good so far. They rank top. I think they're top 6 in adjusted line yards, and they've done a pretty good job against the run. So but the thing we love about Naji though is the fact that he's so involved in the passing game, and so, or I should say, not involved in but so involved as a 100% opportunity share guy who's going to get all the opportunities in the backfield. So you have to go with Naji, and then it really comes down to Damian Harris and Trey Sermon for me, and I think I'm going to go with Trey Sermon here in this one. I like Damian Harris, but I think Trey Sermon. I mean, I guess we should say that. It's tough, though, because we're not 100%. I don't think Elijah Mitchell has been ruled out yet, has he?
Not that I've seen, no. But DeAndre Hopkins is officially active.
Yeah, and that makes me super nervous, to be honest with you. Let me put it this way. If Trey Sermon's out, I'm going with Trey Sermon and Naji, but I don't know if we're going to have that opportunity because they play Sunday Night Football, right? Yeah. I don't know why I'm asking that. I'm asking myself that. But yeah, so and with Damian Harris time that they play, I'm going to go – I guess you got to go Damian Harris here.
Yeah.
Because if Elijah Mitchell plays, then that really changes the entire outlook of what I feel about Trey Sermon.
Right. Samesies. Tan. Back-to-back weeks. File that under things you love to see, coming through with that $20 holla. Really appreciate that. Thank you, Tan. All right, so we need 1 tight end and 1 flex. So let's start with the tight end. Okay, so we have a couple different ones here. First group, tight end, Goddard, Andrews. Which one are you going with?
Oh, Goddard.
Half PPR.
Oh, wait, hold on. Mark Andrews, excuse me.
And then flex. Are you flexing Goddard or Chark? I wish I could slam Chark in there. It feels like it should be Chark. I'm going to go Goddard. I don't love it, but I'm going Goddard. It was weird to see Chark's usage fluctuate the way that it has over the first 2 weeks, going from 12 targets in week 1 down to 4, I think, last week, something like that. Dallas can be had with tight ends. I'm going to go the 2 tight ends there.
I'm going to go Chark. If you look at Chark so far through the first 2 games, he has a 20% target share, 16 targets, which is 22nd, but he's 8th in air yards, 242 air yards, and he also has 32% of the market share of the air yards of this offense, 4 deep targets so far on the year.
I feel like a lot of that is swayed by week 1, though, right? Because I know week 1 he was massive on the air yards, 12 targets, just a lot of them didn't connect.
Well, yeah, but it was also just an absolutely terrible matchup against Denver too last week. I mean, so I think this is much more in line with in terms of, being able to attack this team through the air. Give me DJ Chark.
So we're going to split there. What about in a standard league? Again, one tight end, one flex. So out of the tight ends, Gronk, Hawk, Goddard.
This one you're starting 2 tight ends. I'm going to go Hawk and Gronk.
Boom. I like it. Would that be your answer as well, even if it were a PPR, half PPR league?
Yeah.
Okay. Me too. Again, Tan, appreciate you coming through with that $20 super chat. Appreciate all you guys. Please hit that subscribe button if you are not yet subscribed. Let's see. Let's pick back up where we were at. Oh,
I don't think he plays. I don't.
Yeah.
It's sounded all day that it's very unlikely that he plays. Christian, what other options do you have? Like, what does the rest of your team look like? Is there a way you can put him in the flex, and just in case he actually plays? But it's sounding very, very unlikely that he's going to play.
What I want to know is what's available on waivers.
Yeah, but I would just have an option, like, because I don't really want to play Devin Singletary either, really. To be honest with you. And so, like, I would just be curious what the rest of your team looks like. Can you, do you have an option to split? And I would rather play him in the flex. That way, you're not just locked into playing another running back. You can play, wide receiver, whatever that you may have available to you at that point. So.
Yeah, let us know what waiver options you have as well, Christian. See if we can find somebody to pick up off of waivers and plug in for this week at your, because I'm assuming that's like an RB1, RB2 kind of spot. You know what I mean? Needs a running back starter. So if for whatever reason, if like a James White, like I think I'd rather play Kenny Gainwell over Devin Singletary. Gainwell might be available. I'd rather go that route there. But let us know. But it probably would be, if Singletary is your best option, I wouldn't mess with Dalvin Cook this week. Polo 2K, Jones or Claypool at the flex full PPR. I'm going Marvin Jones here.
I'm going Claypool.
Clyde, Davis, or Sermon for Joey. We need one.
CH.
Andrew coming through. PPR in the flex. Monty Williams, Debo, or Hollywood. This one is going to be Williams for me. What's going through your mind there, buddy?
This is tough. This is a pretty good group of options. Like, I don't love David Montgomery this week. I think he's like a back end RB2. And so, I like Debo a lot as well, and I think Hollywood Brown is definitely in play too. Hollywood has been great for the first 2 weeks of the season. They get Detroit, and there's not a single person in that secondary that worries me at all. The only thing I could see is just possibly they don't have to throw the ball maybe in this game. They get up quickly. But I will say, if you look at the Ravens secondary, the Ravens defense is banged up with injuries and COVID. That defense is not very good either today. And so I could see this being a little bit more close. And we've seen the Lions be able to keep games close. And so I'm gonna roll the dice here, and I'm gonna go with Hollywood Brown.
Yeah, like you said, this is a nice group of flex players to be picking from. Like you said, the thing with Hollywood is that the game script kind of worries me a little bit. Debo, we never know what's going to happen with these Shanahanigans. I think Mike Williams locked into double-digit targets, even if he has a tougher matchup. I still like that. I'm going to lean there. New life. Yes, you can run out Hollywood Brown as a wide receiver 2 this week. Let us know if you have any other options that you are mulling over. Raylan always coming through with the support. Appreciate you. Looks like Max forgot somebody out of that group. Sermon, Madison, Clyde, Devonta. I think this is non-PPR as well.
What was it? CH? I think is what we were with. If it's just one, it's CH. If
Yeah.
you're adding a second, I think it would be Sermon.
I would go Devonta here if you need a second. Sebastian needs a quarterback here. Herbie or Dak? This is Herbert for me. The yards have been there for him. The touchdowns have not. Only 2 touchdowns through the first 2 weeks, but in this matchup against KC, they're either going to be forced to pass, and I'm not really worried about that secondary all that much, or again, not worried about that secondary all that much.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Herbert.
Xenon, Warrior Princess, back with us. Let's go. Well, I think that's why Xenon, is back for the first time, sitting here all blazed up. Jasper wants to know, should I start D-Hop over A.J. Brown? I would go A.J. Brown there. If you only need one of these guys. That rib injury.
Oh, yeah.
Like I said,
100% go A.J. Brown.
Yeah.
I do not feel comfortable at all with Hopkins. I know he's playing, and I suppose on a lot of cases you're going to have to play him, but I can't do it.
We have a different D bro here. This one, Dustin Burrow. Woods, Allen, Cooper, Rondell, Davis. Start 2 and 1 flex. So we need 3.
So Keenan.
Yep. Woods.
And Cooper.
You're going to go Cooper over Rondell with the injury? And that injury makes me nervous. Because I was talking about this with Robbie. Was that the Wednesday show? Or was it the ranking? Either way, we've seen the Cowboys be willing to just like kind of run Cooper out there as a decoy. It's what they did a lot whenever we saw Michael Gallup really step up 2 years back. So I could see that, you know what I mean? Because even if he's injured, you're not going to just completely leave Amari Cooper alone, right? So it's so hard to play more over Cooper. No, give me Rondell. Give me Rondell. And then for the defensive question here, it's Pittsburgh for show. Another one here from Dustin, Herbert or Rodgers.
Herbert
for me as well. New life with another one. Flex half PPR, Devonta Sermon, Devonta James Robinson.
I'm gonna go with Devonta.
I was gonna say this is one of the Antas for me here. That's who I'm going between. I'm going to go Javonte Williams there as well. I know we've talked about being pretty high on Javonte Williams this week. I think this matchup sets up pretty well for him. We starting Miles or Kenyon Drake? This is Miles for me.
Yeah.
Evans, Rondell Moore.
Rondell Moore, Aguilar, Ruggs, or Galladay. I mean, if you can only start one, I'm going to go with Rondell Moore.
Oh, it's probably the right call. Singletary, MG3. Not sure what the O is doing in the middle of there, but Melvin or Singletary. It'd be Melvin, just by default. I can't mess with Singletary.
Yeah, I'd give you Singletary.
Fant or Andrews?
Ooh, this was a lot closer. I do like Noah Fant this week, but I'm still going to go Mark Andrews.
Ernest, why can we not start both these guys?
Yeah, that's it.
Who you rolling with here if Ernest can only start one?
Because I have them both at top 8 guys this week. So I'm going to go with AJ Brown.
Man, we need Robbie here this week. There's a lot that we've been disagreeing on. I'm gonna go with Keenan here, just because I could see that being just a Derrick Henry onslaught kind of game. I do think AJ Brown, people are panicking on him and that offense as a whole, but we know Keenan, and especially if you're saying that Mike Williams is gonna have a tough time with L'Jarius Sneed, Keenan Allen is not gonna have a tough time. We know that he's set up for double-digit targets no matter what. So I'm going to go Keenan there. But A.J. Brown is a fine play as well. But let us know if we can get both in there. You go Monty or Gibson for Walido?
Oh, this is Gibson.
Would you put in Madison over Julio Jones in the flex?
No.
So this is Tam's dilemma here. 2 wide receivers in a flex. Bobby Tree, Shepard, A.J. Brown, Mike Williams.
So A.J. Brown's locked in. Give me Robert Woods, and then give me Sterling Shepard.
Yeah, give me Shepard as well, especially if Galladay is going to be at least limited, if not just kind of out there as a decoy. Michael Brown in a full PPR. Who do we like at flex? Gibson, Woods, Tyson, or Rondell?
Give me Antonio Gibson. Oh, yeah. It also has McLaurin.
Oh, man. Give me Tunyon at tight end.
Yeah. I think Gibson and Tyson are close, and I don't love playing three football team players all, especially this week in this matchup.
Yeah.
So I think I would maybe go Tyson just to kind of switch things up a little bit, so I'm not so tied to that game. Because if that game is a disaster, then you're going to have a really, really bad week.
Yeah, Mike, you're on the right track there. Tyson for me as well. Emmanuel needs 1 running back and a flex and a half PPR. So the running back, let's start with that one. Gibson. Harris, Sermon, Devonta, and then the flex. Are you starting any of those wide receivers?
Bobby Trees.
All right, let's go a little rapid fire here and get caught back up. It happens every week. We're somehow a half behind on the questions. Vins, VK, Tyson, or Mike Davis full PPR?
Well, it's tough because I hate just being like Tyson and just moving on, right? Like, just because like I would like to give a little bit of analysis or a reason as to why that I want to play these guys, but we also want to get through all the questions or we'd be here all day. So it is tough thing to balance, but it's Tyson for me. I'm not playing Mike Davis.
I'll let you handle the questions. If I have anything to add, I'll chime in as well.
Starting team: Brady, Evans, McLaurin, Aaron Jones, Eckler, Mixon, Andrews. How are we feeling?
This is also the issue with getting behind, because I know Raylan had a question earlier rather. Oh, maybe because of the targeting Clyde or Saquon question. Maybe just throwing this out there. Raylan, drop it in the Discord if there's a different question here. Polo coming out and helping out a buddy. Brent wants to know if we should bench Gibson for Madison.
I don't think you should.
No.
Listen, like I said, like I get it with Alexander Madison, and people will look at him and say, "Oh, okay, he's obviously going to get all this opportunity." I just don't think that he does. He did have a couple of games last year where he had we had some good performances, but more often than not, what we end up seeing from this is that they have more willing to get all these other guys involved, and it's not just Alexander Madison getting all the opportunities in his backfield. And so, in a matchup against Seattle where they're going to have to throw the ball as well, I just think that they end up throwing the ball, leaning more on the pass, and really don't have to run the ball that much. Sure, he can luck box into a couple touchdowns at the goal line, but I think the process that as you go Antonio Gibson, his role is locked in. We don't know as much what Madison's is going to be, and I just think that he's somebody that I just don't feel as confident in playing, and I'm not playing Alexander Madison over Antonio Gibson.
Correct. This one is Thielen for me.
This is
especially
AJ Brown
with Cook being out.
Yeah, this is AJ Brown. I absolutely love AJ Brown this week. I have him at 5. I think I could have him higher. None of these corners in Indy worry me whatsoever. I think AJ Brown torches today, and I cannot. And I don't. There's nothing wrong with that of Thielen either. I mean, it's a good matchup for him as well. But I just can't sit AJ Brown.
Let us know if you can get both those in there. Then we need one here for your bet and a half PPR. Sutton, Pittman, Shepard.
Yeah, Cortland Sutton.
2 out of Davis, Harris, and Sermon.
I'm going with Harris and Sermon.
QJ, Harris, Tyson, Pollard.
Tyson
for me.
Yep.
DeAndre Swift or Trey Sermon?
Swift. I love Swift today. The Ravens have been terrible against pass-catching running backs. And so give me DeAndre Swift.
Non-PPR here for Andrew. Thoughts on Will Fuller? Would I start him over Cortland Patterson in the flex?
Well, this was tough because Tua is obviously out for the next at least 3 weeks with that injury, and so we have Jacoby Brissett. But Jacoby Brissett is one of the best backup quarterbacks that you're going to get, that you're going to find. So it's not like it's a massive downgrade, like in terms of who this. Brissett is capable pass catch or is a capable quarterback. He's not great, but he certainly is good enough to kind of sustain this offense a little bit. And I'm not banking on what Cordarrelle Patterson did last week with those 2 touchdowns that he found the end zone with. So I'm going to go Will Fuller.
Do you think there's a case to be made that it might be easier for CPAT to find the end zone? Not that you're chasing the 2 touchdowns from last week, but in a non-PPR, that's why I think this might be a little bit closer than what it should be.
I just think with Will Fuller's ability as a deep threat, I'm not all that concerned with the Raiders secondary. And so I just think Will Fuller, like I think sometimes we forget how good Will Fuller is. And he is, when healthy, he can be a top 24 wide receiver. And so it was PPR. The PPR thing doesn't really worry me because he's not really a target monster. He's not somebody who gets or a reception guy. Like that's not his game. Like he's a deep threat. So really all you need from him is one deep ball, and you're feeling great about it. So I got to go Will Fuller.
Monty, Godwin, or Tyson Williams, full PPR. This is Godwin for me.
Yeah.
Charlie, we like Pittman this week. Let us know if you have any other options that you're mulling over. And but yeah, I think Pittman. With Wentz playing, you definitely feel better about him in there, and it was good to see Pittman. As soon as I saw Pittman popping off last week, and immediately made me think of the question we got where someone was asking, should I drop Pittman?
Yeah, it was Raylan.
Was it Raylan?
It immediately made me think of the same thing that we talked about that and asked if when can we drop him?
Yeah. Said not yet.
I thought the same thing, yeah.
Monty or Sermon?
This one is Monty. I think it's closer. And so, I mean, because I was went and looked. Like Elijah Mitchell's listed as doubtful. So if he's doubtful. He's probably not playing. So you're looking at Sermon and Trenton Cannon and Kerryon Johnson. So if there's a spot for Trey Sermon to really gain more of a footing in this backfield, this is the week. But I still think you got to go David Montgomery.
I think I like Sermon here in this matchup, especially if Mitchell is going to be out.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like he's going to be out, right? But so the thing with Sermon is like, I've never been, and I know Robbie is a big time Sermon guy, but man, Sermon had to transfer from OU because he couldn't beat out Ramondre fucking Stevenson, right? Like I don't know, and then he couldn't beat out Elijah Mitchell, like. But the opportunity is probably going to be there. But you just never know. Kyle Shanahan could somehow Kerryon Johnson, match him in touches. It's certainly possible. But so there's that iffy standpoint for me. So I just lean a little bit more to David Montgomery.
Ashton has a question here. Chenault, Sermon, Fuller, Gainwell, Osborne in the flex.
This one I'm going to go with Sermon as well.
It is not ideal, Tan, to have the 3 tight ends on your roster, so I would look to move on from 2 of them, whether that's trade or
Gronk,
dropping.
Especially Gronk is an absolute sell right now. His value is not going to be any higher than what it is right now. He is absolutely crushed through the first 2 weeks of the season. And tight end's so easy to move because most people don't have one, right? And so there's only a few people that really have a tight end they feel good about. So tight end is really the easiest position to trade. And so I think you can move both of them. I would keep Hawkinson on that one team and move Gronk and Goddard.
Yahtzee. How much fab should I drop on Hubbard? Ashton wants to know. Has Saquon, Clyde, Dillon,
15%, 10 or 15%. I mean, it sounds like Christian McCaffrey's only going to be out a couple of weeks. So this isn't some long-term injury. Do not go blowing blowing your load, as they say. But because he also gets the extra, benefit of being off for, because there was a Thursday night game. So he's, will get, a few extra days in there. So, I mean, it's possible he could play this weekend or the next weekend. I wouldn't bet on it. I would bet that they probably play it slow with him and bring him back the following week. But yeah. I think at most he misses 1 week. So there's absolutely no scenario. And to be honest with you, I mean, they have Royce Freeman there as well. And I thought Royce Freeman looked better than Hubbard did. And so Royce Freeman is also a capable pass catcher out of the backfield. So I would not, I know a lot of people, and that's probably something that we're going to be hearing a lot this week. And in terms of waiver ads, the show we'll do tonight, the live waiver show. I think you should look to add him, but I'm not going out and blowing a significant portion of my fab on him. Christian McCaffrey's going to be back within a few weeks. So there's zero reason. And it really could be just for 1 week. I mean, it's very possible he misses week 4 and he's back week 5.
Yeah, don't go crazy with it. Goddard or Gesicki for Alejandro?
Goddard.
Marlon Mack inactive. Appreciate you coming through with that. Walito, JT Smash Week, maybe. Gibson, Carson, Madison, need 2 here. First 2 for me.
Yep.
Claypool or Devonta Smith in a full PPR. I like Devonta Smith. Are you going to say Claypool, Kev?
Yes, sir. I am. It worries me. It worries me with Smith because I'm curious what they do with Diggs. Do they put Diggs on and shadow him with Diggs? Because I mean, Diggs has been elite this year. Diggs has been a top 10 corner, and so that's not the best matchup for him. But I can see them utilizing some of their other options if that's what happens with Devonta Smith. So that's what worries me a little bit with him. I'm a little bit lower on him. I mean, I still think he's like a wide receiver 3, but I think Claypool is very much in the conversation as a strong wide receiver 2.
Tyson or Edmonds?
Tyson.
Agreed there. Zeke, Kamara, Gibson, Madison need 3. First 3?
Yeah. It's crazy though because I have Kamara I think at 10 in my rankings that I updated.
Yeah,
it's just tough to trust him. I mean, because of how he's been utilized. But yeah, you still got to play him.
Okay, so this is back to Christian's question with Singletary.
Well, then
Would you play Singletary or Carter?
Man, neither. I guess you got to go Singletary. I guess. I mean, the Denver matchup for Michael Carter is absolutely horrendous. So on the road in Denver as well.
Yeah, I guess Singletary by default. I don't love either.
Oh, I don't either. Don't get me wrong at all. I mean,
that's right. Jay switched up his name. Jay has his own podcast, Fantasy Gurus podcast. So switched up the name there for the brand. Tanny or Carr?
Tannehill.
K5, we need half PPR start to Rondell, Smith, Kareem.
So Rondell, I'm going to go Hunt.
I'm going to go the first two with Rondell and Devonta. We need one here in a full PPR from K5. Devonta, Hollywood, Henderson, James Robinson, Davis.
Hollywood.
Give me Hollywood there as well. Jay Millie, Michelle, Latavius, or Kenny G in a half PPR.
Man.
I'm going to go Latavius.
But I hate that too. I mean, it's a terrible matchup against the Bucs.
Yeah.
I was going to say, well, because it sounds like Darrell Henderson could be out, so Sonny Michel's a starting running back, but it is probably the worst matchup you possibly could ask for against the Bucs run defense. And I wish I could say Kenny Golladay because it would be easily Kenny Golladay. Yeah. I think if you want to risk it and go Kenny Golladay, I don't mind it. I know he's dealing with that hip injury, but it sounds like he's going to play. But it's a very risky situation to play anybody that especially like him. But that's probably where I would lean.
Sutton or Hollywood, two guys you like a lot this week.
Sutton.
Would you drop Pollard or Jamal Williams for Hollywood?
I would drop Jamal Williams for him.
All right, we also got Walito coming through with all the backup inactives. Look at that. Devonta Booker is out. Really like Saquon this week. Abraham back with us. Logan Thomas or Goddard. This is Goddard for me.
Agreed.
Ethan wants to know Sanders or Sutton in a PPR.
Ooh. I think I'm gonna go Sutton.
Yeah, me too. I don't want to chase it, but in a PPR, the Cowboys' front is at least solid. And if Sanders isn't going to be involved as a pass catcher, Sutton's matchup is definitely better. I'm going to go Sutton there as well. Non-PPR for Andrew, Higbee or Thomas?
Logan Thomas.
Big Truz back again. Jefferson or Jamar?
Justin Jefferson.
Remix.
Sorry, I've been sick all weekend, so I'm trying to. Every time I have to answer really quick because I'm about to start coughing my lungs out again. So
you need to get some tea, some honey and lemon. Let it soothe your soul. Jamel Caver, who should I start running back to this week? Montgomery, Hunt, or James White?
Montgomery.
Yeah, I'm going to lean Montgomery there too, but I do like James White. Chippy D, Cousins or Tanny? I'm going Cousins.
I'm all jacked up Mountain Dew, Chip. Kirk Cousins.
Gordon, Moore, Aguilar, Ruggs, Galladay for Alejandro.
It would be nice to know how many here. Like, I don't even know. I feel like this question's already been asked too. Maybe I'm wrong.
I would rank them Moore, Gordon, Aguilar, Ruggs, Galladay is how I would rank them.
I would go Moore, Galladay, Aguilar, Gordon, then Ruggs. McLaurin.
Tony. This is Mike Will for me at flex for Xenon.
Yeah.
Tech shot. Zeke and Carson RB1, RB2. Theo the flex. How could I put in Madison?
You don't. You leave him on the bench.
You don't. Yeah. Deviate. Full PPR on the flex. Swift, Damian Harris. I'm assuming Darris. I like that. Let's make that a thing. Sermon, Madison, Boyd.
It's Swift.
Here we go. Fish still surviving. Our last fishing upon on Twitch as well. Denver, Tennessee, and the Giants.
Give me Denver.
Yeah. Abraham has Terry. No.
Yeah.
Another one here from Jamel Cooper, Davis, Sutton.
I'm going
I'm gonna go Sutton. I think both are fine plays. Davis is clearly last. Like I said, I lean Sutton just because of the safety. We don't have to worry about anything with the injury.
I will agree with that. I think Sutton is definitely the safer play because we're just not concerned at all about injury or anything like that happening, and it's a great matchup against the Jets. I do think that this is a good matchup against Philly for Amari Cooper. There is that concern there with ribs. So again, if you want to go with a safer option, I would probably go Cortland Sutton, but
Swift and Mike Williams in the flex.
Swift.
Alfredo, need a wide receiver 2 and a flex. Options are Hollywood, Shepard, Tanyan, MG3, and Lenny. I'm going to go with the 2 wide receivers.
Yes.
Alexis, back again. Sanders or Thielen at the flex.
Thielen.
This is Julio Jones. I can't mess with Sony Michel. I'd have to be pretty desperate to plug in Sony this week. Give me Julio there. Sermon, Tyson, Robinson, Madison, pick 2.
Tyson and Sermon.
Boom. That's where I'm going as well. I don't like how we're saying Sermon so much. I feel like that this might be the one that bites us in the ass.
Yeah, I feel like they're like, oh, we're gonna go against Madison. He's gonna end up, finding his way, luck boxing his way into 2 touchdowns. But it is.
But I do think Sermon's the right play there, Truz. Lil Morty need 2 here out of Debo, Woods, and Godwin.
That's tough.
I'm gonna go Woods and Godwin.
Or go Woods and Godwin. I mean, they're super close between Debo and Woods for me, and so, I guess Woods and Godwin's fine.
This one for KK beats Singletary or Cordarrelle. I'm going CPAT.
I'm gonna go Singletary. I hate it, but I'm gonna go there.
Just hate it less than Cordarrelle Patterson. Rolando needs 1 here. Pittman, Galladay, Evans.
I think you got to go Mike Evans here.
Raiders D or Browns D. This is Raiders for me. Here we go. Favorite ice cream flavor from Raylan. Raylan's going cookie dough. Kev, what do you like here? Does Rocky Road or Moose Tracks? Does Moose Tracks count as a flavor? It's
Yeah.
not really a flavor; it's a mixture.
Yeah, I think that counts.
Okay. I'm going Moose Tracks.
Have you ever had? If you haven't, you should try it. It's if you're a cheesecake fan, the Cheesecake Factory came out with their own ice cream about a year ago. It's been out. Their ice cream is really good. They got a like a salted caramel one, and then they have a strawberry one, and they put like pieces of cheesecake and pieces of like the crust and everything in there. It is
There we
excellent.
go.
Those are good, and then anything with peanut butter.
Yeah,
Absolutely love peanut butter. So
yeah, me too. My go-to order is just a peanut butter blizzard. That's it. Like everywhere I go, no matter what, that's what I get. I've also been living that baller life and upgrading to hey, give me throw the extra candy in there for the surcharge. Give me that fee. Rob Navarro, Beasley, Davis, Jamal Williams at the flex half PPR. I'm going Beasley.
I think on this one, I'm going to go Mike Davis.
I don't mind. I don't mind Davis there. I just think this is going to be a situation where the Bills are going to have to throw a little bit more on DraftKings. The over-under for Josh Allen is at 266.5. I like the over there. I just think Beasley in the slot is just going to be that blanket for Allen. Robbie's coming in, letting you know that Diggs is not shadow as of yet at Kevin. He would know.
I know. Well, he's also a homer, so not that matters for this question, but
right. Just to get a dig in there because you're not.
I mean, that's what
Robbie.
I have to do. I mean, that's really what I do. I mean, he's not here for me to because he's not for the brand like we are. You just traveled halfway across the country and you're here. So there's no excuses. I have been sick all weekend, though I'm starting to recover. I am, coughing in between takes, and that's how you know who's here for the brand, who's not. Just remember that.
Well, you're coughing in between because you got those sick takes. That's why. Charlie Lights wants to know: would you trade Javonte Williams for Devonta Smith or Michael Pittman?
No, I'm not moving. I do not want to trade Javonte Williams before you were able to cash him in for the big time payday.
Yeah, hold on to that lottery ticket a little bit longer, Charlie, because I think you're going to be able to get more once Javonte hits and starts to take over. Because Melvin Gordon, outside of that 70-yard run, if Gordon doesn't have that 70-yard run, I think we're looking at that differently. I mean, just from box score scouting. Brady or Lamar here for Ronald?
Lamar.
Yep. I'm going Rondale Moore here for Noel.
Correct.
Hollywood or Juju? Where are you going here for Ken?
I'm going Juju here.
Yeah, I think Juju's safer. I'm going to go there as well. Singletary, Hines, or Cordarrelle in a PPR. I'm going Naheem there.
Yeah.
Hunt, James Robinson, or Jamar Chase for Rob.
Oh, this is Jamar Chase, especially with T. Higgins out.
Yep. Jamar for me. Santiago, Goddard, or Fant. This is Fant for me.
Yeah, and yes, I think Swift is going to play.
Bruce wants to know Dak or Carr.
Dak
as well. And Chizzo, Moorkirk or Ruggs.
Rondale.
Let's go. Kenny needs two here. Mixon, Naji, Bobby Trees in a full PPR.
I'm going Mixon. And I'm going Naji. Man. Yeah.
Give me Mixon and Bobby Trees. Go. Sermon or Javonte. This is Javonte for me.
Yeah. I agree.
I did not know this. Would you go to a movie theater to watch an NFL game?
I would not, and the reason I would not is mainly because I want to be able to watch all the games. So, like, if it was Red Zone, I think that would be sweet. You know, like get some of your buddies,
Ooh,
go there. You know,
yeah,
but like just watching
good
one
call.
single game, no thanks. I need the Red Zone life. Like, I am a Chiefs fan, and what I do is when the Chiefs aren't on, Red Zone's on. And then when the Chiefs are playing, at each commercial, I flip over to Red Zone and watch it, and then flip back when the Chiefs game comes back on. But because I have to have Red Zone, I cannot go and just not watch and not have Red Zone. So I think it's cool. You know, if you don't have the ability to watch Red Zone or whatever, then fine. I think it's not a bad idea. But I don't know. Movie theater just seems weird to me to want to go and watch a football game. Like, I think it'd be cool because, you know, the huge screen, you know, the surround sound, all that stuff, part of the action
Right.
of it. But, like, I don't know, movies, you know, you're always used to like being quiet and everything else, whatever. I don't know. I'd
I
rather
do
just go to
agree
a
with
bar.
I do agree with the one game thing. That would be tough. If you could do like split screen stuff, like you said, like Red Zone, like that'd be cool. The one game thing, yeah, just let me sit in the confines of my house, if that's the case, or let me go to a bar. It is a cool idea though. Yes, Madison is going to replace Cook this week. Oh, okay, I see. Or Damian Harris. Who are you going here? Madison, Damian, or Mike Davis?
I think in this situation, I'll probably go Madison. The Saints rush
Yeah,
defense, the Saints rush defense has still been really good so far. So even with the guys they've lost, they've still been really good against the run. And so that's why I don't love him. He's not involved in the pass catcher either. So
right. Yeah, this will be the first time we've said Madison all show long, Mark. So for me anyway, the real YDK. Who should I start at the flex? Gordon, Tyson Williams, or Juju? This is Tyson for me.
I'm gonna go Juju.
I think Juju's a fine play as well. I like Tyson there. I just feel like that Steelers, like, I just think that could just be like a gross, like the over under is 43. I think that could be the under in that game, quite honestly. This one is directed toward you, Kev, from Tan. Are you going Q or Robbie G?
Go Koo.
Coward. Penn State is always the answer. Julio Jones is an option. This last one from Alfredo. So Hollywood, Julio, Shepard.
Yeah, Julio and Hollywood.
I'm gonna go Julio and Shepard. Gibby or Sermon?
Gibson.
Gibson for me as well there. John, Shepard or Debo?
This one's gonna be Debo.
Give me Shepard here, Mark. Xenon, good luck to you. We're here for you. Glad to see you made your way back from the granddaddy perp. Abraham, should I get another defense? I have the Bucks right now.
Depends on who you're picking up. I mean, what are the options? Would be my question. It kind of sucks because, like, I have, like, on my home league team, I have Washington, and I know this is a great matchup against the Bucks. But then I'm looking out there, what are their options? And there's not like great options out there. But then I'm kind of looking at it in Washington. Like, after this week, they get some good matchups coming up, at least for the next couple of weeks that are much more favorable for them. So I'm kind of like trying to make that decision. Should I just hold on to them or should I let them go? But yeah, it depends on who else is out there.
Okay. Look at this. Flowing it right up. Giants,
Patriots.
Pats, Colts.
Yeah, Patriots. You just pick up Patriots.
Go Pats. Yeah. Xenon said you need some edibles to get that sickness out.
I'm starting to feel better. It's just a sinus infection. I woke up Friday, it started coming on, and then I woke up Saturday. It was like all this pressure. So yeah. But as the day went on, last night I started to feel a little bit better, and this morning I feel better.
Good. Glad to hear it. Graham needs 2 here in a PPR: Swift, Mike Williams, and Woods.
Sit Mike Williams.
Yeah, Williams and Woods are close enough for me. Like you were mentioning with that Baltimore defense banged up, haven't been great against running backs, especially pass catching running backs. So I'll go Swift there as well. Down Cook and Henderson in a full PPR. Other options are Singletary, Patterson, Jamal Williams, Latavius, Jake Funk. Need 2 of these. Oh boy. Youngo, what are we doing here, Kev?
I think you go Latavius because I think he's probably the best option that you probably have. And then it comes down to Singletary and Jamal. And I probably would be more towards Jamal.
Yeah.
Just because of his usage in that offense. And I think he could get some goal line opportunities. So I would probably go Latavius and Jamal. Don't love it, but that's probably where I stand.
I agree. Mike wants to know Thielen or Edmonds full PPR.
Thielen.
Yeah, I love Edmonds, but this is Thielen for me as well. Raylan wants to know Devonta or Marvin Jones at the wide receiver 2.
Give me Marvin Jones.
I'm going to go Marvin Jones here as well. Alejandro listing out some teams here. Are we making any changes to this team? Are you putting in Evans or OBJ over any of these options here between Najee, Madison, Diggs, Lamb, Goddard, Cup?
No.
I'm keeping that as is. Team 2, another Josh Allen team. On the bench, Tim Patrick and Henderson. We putting in? No, I'm not putting in Patrick over any of those. Team 3 bench. We have Evans, Ruggs, and Fuller.
My man, need to diversify the portfolio a little bit with Josh Allen on every one of them. No, I'm not changing. I would probably leave it as you have it there. Wait, no, I wouldn't.
What?
No, I wouldn't. Bench Melvin Gordon for Mike Evans.
That's where I was leaning as well. Another Danny Dimes question, Kev. Are you man enough to put in Danny Dimes over Aaron Rodgers?
It's not that far off for me. I have Rodgers at 10. I have Daniel Dimes at 12, so it's not that far. I still think you got to go Aaron Rodgers, though. Yeah. I think he has a safer floor and probably a little bit higher of a ceiling, but Daniel Jones definitely has the better matchup. The San Francisco defense is getting healthier. And we've seen it before. I mean, what was it? I don't think it was last year. I think it was the year before where the 49ers just boat raced the Packers. And one thing I'm worried about that people aren't really talking about with the Packers is the loss of David Bakhtiari has been huge. Like, their offensive line does not look very good through 2 games. And this San Francisco pass rush is really good. And so they have all their guys back. Bosa's back, D Ford. And so, like, that's going to be a problem in how they're going to be able to stack up with this. So, are they going to have enough time to set up? So, I think it's close, but I still think you have to start Aaron Rodgers. I would feel like a big donkey if you stat Aaron Rodgers. Because, I mean, let's be real. Daniel Jones could turn back into Daniel Jones at any time.
Correct.
And so, I love Daniel Jones, and I'm playing him in DFS this week, but I just think you go Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, I'm just going to say I agree with everything you just laid out there. Got some well wishes coming from Tan. Abraham, yes, start the Patriots D over the Bucks. Steven, we need one here, full PPR in the flex. Boyd, Chase, Rondell Moore, Jalen Waddle.
That's close, but I'm going to go with Jamar Chase.
Who are you leaning on second?
I think it's between him, Boyd, and Rondell. To be honest, I think they're all kind of similar, but I think it's Jamar Chase.
Oh man. Yeah, give me Chase as well. Rondell would be second for me, just because I think we see Cam Sutton slide inside of the slot, and he's been really good in the slot. I think he could make life a little difficult on Tyler Boyd, especially with T. Higgins being out. But I'll go. I'm gonna go Chase there. But Rondell would be second for me. Name has a question. Full PPR: Drake, James Robinson, Trace Sermon. Pick one. I'm going Sermon there.
Yeah.
We went the complete opposite of.
I don't understand though. Why would you play Jarrett Patterson though? Like, I mean, he has done nothing. I mean, week 1 he got, I guess, a tiny bit of opportunity, but week 2 he didn't play at all. And so, like, I don't know why you would even be considering it. I mean, I guess maybe there was some concern with Antonio Gibson, but I mean, he's playing, and so, I mean, Patterson has no path whatsoever.
We need one flex play here and a half PPR for Mike Edmonds, Tyson, or Rondell.
Oh man, go Tyson.
Who would be second for you there?
Probably Edmonds.
Okay. Another Tyson question: him or Sutton in the flex?
Sutton.
Whoops, just lost that. Next one. Jack 2K, pick 2, Pollard, Swift, Sermon. It's going to be Swift and Sermon for me.
Yes. Patriots
here as well. Alejandro.
Ridley and Julio.
Hey, you rock. J Rob or J Will?
I'm going to go Robinson here.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm going Devonta.
I mean, I get it. Things have not been great for James Robinson, but last week we did see a reversion back to kind of what we thought it was going to be with him. He just didn't find the end zone. He's still getting 62% of the opportunities, but last week, I mean, he got more of the opportunities. He had 11 carries, 3 targets. So he just hasn't found the end zone, and I think this is a more favorable matchup against Arizona. And so I do think that he's in play. He's actually third among all running backs in routes run. He's also 13th in targets. So 62% of the opportunities. So yeah, I mean, for me, it'd be James Robinson.
Would you put in Tyson Williams or Devonta Williams over Clyde?
No, I think it's close. Actually, it's closer than it should be, but I would still lean towards CH.
I'm going Gano there, Abraham. Patriots D. Whoop. Luciano. Drake or Mike Williams. This is Mike. Hey, Kev, you finally said Mike Williams this show.
Yeah.
And we would drop Jamal for Hollywood, Tam.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Jarrett Patterson. Didn't even, I was thinking Jarrett Patterson the whole time too.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense then.
So are you putting in, let me find that. Okay. Cordarrelle. So Singletary, Cordarrelle, Jamal, Latavius. Latavius is locked in. Latavius isn't going anywhere. CPAT or Jamal?
I would probably go CPAT then at that point.
Okay. Davis or Tim Patrick?
Corey Davis.
I'm going to go Tim Patrick. Clyde or Sermon, that is Clyde. Another one here for Luciano. 2 running backs, full PPR, Zeke, Mixon, Drake, and it is the first 2 there. All right, guys, that is going to wrap it up. If you have any other last-minute questions, I know Kev is working on some lineups. I have to go fill mine in as well. If you have any other last-minute questions, join the Discord, absolutely free, no strings attached, anything like that. The link is in the video description below. Just pull down the drop-down box, click it, and you will be in there. We'll help you out with over there on the Discord. That's supposed to be Robbie's gig today since he is traveling back from Tejas. Rams, Browns, or Bears?
Bears.
Bears. Appreciate all you guys. Please hit us up with a subscribe if you have not yet done that. Give us a like, and we'll be live again tonight with your first look at Week 4 waivers. We'll talk to you all then.